After setting up the fourth analytics, we will now move on to carefully configuring the next type of conversion, called the purchase tag, in a detailed manner. This is a conversion that directly belongs to the Google Ads account. In other words, it is not a conversion that directly concerns the fourth analytics. You can continue to use this purchase, but I strongly recommend, as they say, doing everything from start to finish according to the manual that Google recommends, with the transmission of all extended data and other things, for the performance to work correctly and for Google Shopping, as the book says, accordingly to this AI that will be used by Google. So now we will fine-tune another conversion process. What exactly do we need for this? To do this, we first need to open the Google Ads account and complete a couple more necessary settings. If you remember at the stage when we were installing this plugin, which is called Google Listing and Ads, do you perhaps remember indeed? We verified and confirmed the connection and link with the Google Ads account in the settings there. It will load here now. I will show all this information now, but it still says disconnected here. Why is this happening? Because essentially, we have sent a request for access to Google Ads. To gain access to this Google Ads account, we simply click here, and we also need to confirm in the account permissions that this plugin actually has the necessary and specific access to this company. Okay, I'll do this later. Okay, I'll do this later. Okay, should I turn off his conversion? Continue the account. We just keep clicking through. It's not super important to us. Next, we look. In this account, we definitely go to the company. This is the company that SOS gave us because sometimes it might not suggest payment details. We are stopping now in case you have entered payment details to ensure there is nothing critical in the settings. What are we doing? Let's simply go to our goal settings in the summary section. We already have our current purchase progress status. We go into its settings, or better yet, let me show you how to set it up from the beginning. So I will delete this thing now. And we will start all over again. Click New Conversion Action. Be sure to select the website. Here we enter the name of our website that we had previously created for our project. Please click Scan and wait for it to completely and thoroughly finish processing. Next, click Add Conversion manually. Select Purchase here. You can name it differently here. I will name it Chase, which is a manual process that requires careful and deliberate attention. Let's do it this way. Purchase, purchase, moving on. We definitely keep using different values consistently. Definitely. We keep each and every one. All of this can be kept. I usually prefer last click. Attribution model. You can choose the one you like. This one works for me so far. Click Done. Same. And Continue. Click Yes, please, now. After that, the conversion has been created. Now we are going to finish setting it up. Click on this conversion. Go to Settings. Go to Tag Manager. Copy the conversion ID. Go to our Google Tag Manager. Click on Tag. I suggest, look, later on, Google might have an issue with us adding another Google tag because, essentially, they're identical. But for now, I am adding it in this format intentionally and deliberately. We enter Google tag insert this conversion ID. In triggers, we select initialization again. Here we note R. AB. Save. Go back to our Google Ads again. Just copy our conversion ID again in case you clicked somewhere else. Click New. This is the Google Ads configuration. Select Conversion Setup. We create everything right here. Click the Save button and forget. Ensure a green checkmark appears here. We insert the conversion ID. We return to Google Ads, copy the conversion label and insert it here. Select the revenue value that will appear, the transaction ID, and the currency. Now figure out where to get this conversion value. We uploaded our container with a bunch of parameters. So we return to our debugger, click on Purchase, go to our variables, scroll down, and look for what corresponds to the value. E-commerce value 2564. We return to Google Ads, click the plus sign, and look for the e-commerce value, 64. We return to Google Ads, the plus sign, our e-commerce value. The same applies to the transaction ID. If you don't have this purchase, click Preview in Google Tag Manager, complete all the steps, and find these variables. We also have the transaction ID. Where is it? I'm on the transaction ID. So what else can we do? Right, we need the currency code. We definitely have the currency as well. Here is the e-commerce currency. We can select our e-commerce currency, such as. Now, the basics are almost essentially sufficient for setup, but we will add even more additional data. What other data will there be? We will definitely add product level sales data. Absolutely, I recommend it to you. Yes, it takes effort to transfer, but I see nothing wrong with transferring. You simply need the merchant ID. The merchant ID can be found with Merchanty. Insert it here. Feed country. Feed country is usually written here. We go to the feeds. Here we have target countries UR, feed label UR. Or if you are unsure whether you are selecting correctly, you can follow this link and choose your country. I leave the nation as it is in this context. And the language is essentially the same. If you happen to have multiple languages, then in principle, if we go to the data layer, we can potentially find the nation we need here, right? In essence, right? And maybe we can even find the merchant center, but as far as I can see, I don't see these parameters here. Payment matters, status, coupon. Yes, I don't see it. In principle, we haven't established merchant centers anywhere. Therefore, you can manually set it without any critical issues. For example, you can follow the guidelines and ensure everything is correct. If you don't want to, you can skip these two sections. It won't be critical. The same goes for the discount. The discount can also be applied. It should be automatic for us in theory. If it is not automatically here, you can take it. Transfer the auto discount to yourself. How will it be transferred? Let's take our discount here. Let's see if we have any other discount phrases. I'm showing you all possible options. So, what do we need? Card. We will now create variables for the discount. Click the plus sign here. Data layer variable. Select here. We click on card content. This is an advanced setting we are indeed doing together. It's not just like that. Actually, discount total. Or simply take what matches yours, for example, discount total from here. I simply save it, name it as a variable from the data level, and easily save it. After that, we need to transmit the items, but items are not just a set of some data. They must include price, quantity, and item ID. How are we going to obtain them? We will now make several important iterations for this process. First, we carefully check this code to ensure it roughly matches what I have. See, here it is. We need to find a block like this that will simply be called ID. You see, we have several important steps to follow in this process, and each step is crucial for the overall success. We need to be meticulous and ensure every detail is correct. This will help us achieve the desired outcome efficiently and effectively. It intersects with us several times. For example, it's there. It's very important to correctly take these parameters here. In this case, simple, e-commerce, plus sign, terrible configuration, data lawyer, e-commerce, cable configuration, data lawyer. And I just state the items because they have ID and quantity parameters. By the way, this is very convenient. E-commerce items, DLV, e-commerce items. That's all. After that, we can definitely add a few more items, some of which will be very crucial. We need to transmit user data. With user data, we definitely transmit the phone number and email, but you can also transmit additional blocks of data. What is this big block or smaller block that I am talking about? Click on New Variable. A tag called User Provided Data opens up. Be sure to select Manual Configuration. And here we will start selecting various parameters, or rather, variables that we need. The most important ones are email and phone. In the email, remember, when we imported the container for the fourth analytics, we have a bunch of variables. These variables are already prepared. All that remains is to choose the invoicing electronic mail hash, and the same goes for the telephone hash. As for the first name, last name, road, street address, metropolitan city, region or area, nation, and postal code, you can only enter these if you actually have this postal code in your data level dataset. For example, for Ukraine, it might not be relevant if we choose a new mail service, as the new mail service won't have an index. Therefore, to send this information for Ukraine or not, without the index, it does not matter. If you are launching in other countries, most likely Europe, Australia, Canada, or the United States, it is advisable to go through everything thoroughly. We have everything set up, meaning you have what we have here. We have a first name hash and a last name hash, but we should also have street, city, region, country, and postal code. However, since I am doing this for Ukraine, it is not critically important for me. I don't have a postal code, or rather, it can be filled in with one of the postal codes here, C, but it is empty. If it is empty, it will make targeting worse rather than better. Therefore, if you don't have this data, it's better not to fill it in. This is the most important database. Save. After that, be sure to go to the advanced settings, to consent settings, and here be sure to select what suits you and what doesn't. Because if we are in Ukraine, it is not part of the GDPR and the United Kingdom, so I do not need additional consent here. If you are in a different country and need a specific consent mode, you should initially choose according to the parameters you need to transmit. You can choose storage or another attribute. No need to set the consent mode and the trigger. The trigger, if we remember, is the purchase event. We need to set our event to purchase. It's easy. We go to Google Tag Manager, click the plus sign, trigger configuration, event, and select purchase. And I set this purchase. That's it. Next, we need to save this conversion process to the file. I can name it purchase. Save it extremely carefully. Now, this is an extremely important and crucial step to follow. We need to check if it works or not. And again, we click preview. That is, we need to make sure that it actually transmits all the data. This is a mandatory set of actions for almost any project, any niche. Click continue. So we have something. Let's close these links in order to proceed with the next step. Click preview again, and then copy our product card to the next step. We open it again, and let's say we go to a product card where we make a test order again. After that, we go to our cart and place the order once more. Everything is filled out here, so I proceed to payment, confirm the order, and almost confirm it. Now we return to this window, find our purchase, and we must see this conversion here. To elaborate, when we open it again, we navigate to a product card, make a test order once more, go to our cart, and place the order again. Everything is filled out here, so I proceed to payment, confirm the order, and almost confirm it. Now we return to this window, find our purchase, and we must see this conversion here. More precisely, we go back to the summary again and see how many times each of the tags was triggered. It is very important to us that this Google Ads purchase works only once. We click, this is line 66 purchase, click, switch to values, and check. We needed to transmit transaction ID. Country of feed was set and transmitted. Cache data, email, and phone are being transmitted. I set the feed language by hand. The conversion value and order amount are being transmitted. We placed a new order. Items are being transmitted. Here, there is an ID and Google vertical, quantity, and price. Even if there is an extra set of data, all is transmitted perfectly. We have the seller and the tag, so we just need to confirm by publishing. Our container. It exists. So as of now, if you have essentially set up the fourth analytics like I have, and if you have indeed actually implemented the Google Ads conversion code, you can actually start creating a proper, adequate performance max and launch advertising campaigns. But since I promised at the beginning of this big video that we would create a manual that covers everything in detail, we will also set up dynamic remarketing with you. This will be in the next section of the video.